Today's topic is similar matrices and diagonalizable matrices. So when two matrices are called similar, so one question is that, and other question is that when any matrix is diagonalizable. So we have two questions. One, when two matrices are called similar matrices, means what is the condition when we can say that these two matrices A and B are similar matrices, and other question is when any given matrix A is diagonalizable matrix. So to have the answer of these questions, first, what are the similar matrices? So means what is the condition when we say that two matrices are called similar matrices? So suppose we have two matrices, capital A and capital B, and they are square matrices and they are matrices of the same order. Clear? We have two square matrices of the same order. So of course the order must be same for similar matrices. That is the first condition. And the second, now means we have two square matrices A and B of same order. Now the matrix A is said to be similar to matrix B if there exists an invertible matrix P such that A is equal to P inverse B into P. So what is the condition? Means we are saying that A is called similar matrix to B, or A is similar to matrix B when there exists one invertible matrix P. Invertible means for which the inverse exists, a matrix whose inverse exists, that is called invertible matrix. So if there exists one matrix P such that its inverse exists, and if we multiply the P inverse to B from the left and P from the right, so this multiplication means P inverse BP, that must be equal to A. So we are saying A is similar to matrix B. So when we are saying that A is similar to B, when there exists this matrix P, this invertible matrix P, such that this combination P inverse BP is equal to A. Clear? So A और B हमारे पास दो matrices हैं. अगर कोई ऐसी P मैट्रिक्स एग्जिस्ट करती है कि हम P इनवर्स, मतलब P इनवर्स तभी मल्टीप्लाई कर पाएंगे जब P इनवर्स एग्जिस्ट करेगा. सो P इनवर्स BP अगर हम करें तो ये जो मल्टीप्लिकेशन है वो किसके इक्वल आ जाए? A के इक्वल आ जाए. और अगर इस इक्वेशन को हम और सिंप्लीफाई करें, सो व्हेन वी मल्टीप्लाई द मैट्रिक्स P फ्रॉम लेफ्ट साइड, so it will be PA and it will be P inverse BP. So P inverse is identity matrix, so this is equal to BP. So what I did, I multiplied this equation by P from the left hand side. So PA is equal to P into this, and P into this, that means P into P inverse is identity, so this is BP. So this is PA is equal to BP. And now again I am multiplying this equation by P inverse from the right. Now I am multiplying the P inverse from the right. So this is PA P inverse, and here we have P into P inverse. Now again P into P inverse is identity. So B into identity is B. So what I'm trying to prove here, that whenever A is similar to B, B is also similar to A. So both are called similar matrices to each other. So what is the condition? We have two matrices A and B. So if there exists one invertible matrix P such that P inverse BP is equal to A, then we say A is similar to B, means A and B are called similar matrices. And on the other hand, we also prove this, that whenever A is similar to B, B is also similar to A, because again from this condition we can say that B is similar to A. Why? Because there exists one invertible matrix P such that when we multiply P from left and P inverse from right, so this combination is equal to B. So again this is similar to this. Only difference is when, yeah, here we are multiplying P inverse from left, here we are multiplying P inverse from right. So any one of these condition must be satisfied. Means either we are saying A is similar to B or B is similar to A. For both the conditions, we have one invertible matrix P such that when we multiply the other matrix to P inverse and P from left and right hand side simultaneously respectively, then this combination must be equal to A or this combination is equal to B. So either we prove this or prove this. In both the cases, we will say that A is similar to B or B is similar to A. These are similar matrices. Clear? So therefore, A is similar to B if and only if B is similar to A. Clear? If A is similar to B, then we have this condition, and from this condition we have this condition, and from this condition we have this condition. So B is similar to A. So this is biconditional. When A is similar to B, then B is similar to A, and when B is similar to A, then A is similar to B. So here we the P matrix, the matrix P is called similarity matrix. So whenever we say similar matrices, two matrices are similar, then there exists similarity matrix P. So this converts the other matrix to A or matrix A to B. So this is the definition of similar matrices. So whenever we have question like prove that or check whether the two given matrices are similar, we have to prove this, that there exists one invertible matrix P such that P inverse BP is A or P inverse is B. So if anyhow we are capable to prove either of these conditions, we will say A and B are similar matrices. So next, the next question, diagonalizable matrix, when one matrix is diagonalizable. So before this, we have some properties for similar matrices. The similar matrices have same characteristic equation and hence same eigenvalues. So similar matrices always have same characteristic equation, and if we have same characteristic equation, that means the eigenvalues would be same. So whenever we are saying A is similar to B, so we can say that both the for both of the matrices we have same eigenvalues. So if lambda is eigenvalue of A, then lambda is also eigenvalue of B. Similarly, whenever lambda is eigenvalue of B, we also have that lambda is also eigenvalue of A. So similar matrices have same eigenvalues, but converse is not true always. That means two matrices whose eigenvalues are same or characteristic equations are same, we cannot say these are similar matrices. Clear? What is this property or statement? If two matrices are similar, then they have same eigenvalues, but two matrices whose eigenvalues are same or characteristic equations are same, we cannot say these are similar. So this is one way condition, not by condition. This is not if and only if. This is only if matrices are similar, then the eigenvalues are same. But if eigenvalues are same, we cannot say the matrices are similar. Next, further means we have seen that the eigenvalues of the similar matrices are same, but suppose means lambda is eigenvalue of A and X is eigenvector of A corresponding to eigenvalue lambda. Means lambda is the eigenvalue of matrix A and X is eigenvector of A corresponding to lambda. We already know that the eigenvectors are with respect to eigenvalues. They are not independent. So it means whenever we have the eigenvalues with respect to that eigenvalue, we have eigenvector. So suppose X is eigenvector corresponding to this lambda for the matrix A. So we know if lambda is eigenvalue of A, then the lambda is also eigenvalue of B. But if X is eigenvector of A, the P inverse into X is the eigenvector of B corresponding to this lambda eigenvalue. Means what is this statement? This statement is saying that two matrices have the same eigenvalues, but the eigenvectors corresponding to those similar eigenvalues, same eigenvalues, they are different. So eigenvectors are different. If lambda is eigenvalue of A, then and x is eigenvector of A corresponding to this eigenvalue lambda, then the eigenvector corresponding to this lambda, we have P inverse X as eigenvector of the matrix B. Clear? Lambda is the eigenvalue of B, A, then lambda is also eigenvalue of B, but the eigenvector corresponding to this lambda for the matrix A and for the matrix B are different. X is eigenvector. If X is an eigenvector of A, then P inverse X is an eigenvector of B corresponding to same eigenvalue. So eigenvalues तो same है दोनों matrices की, similar matrices की, but eigenvectors different होंगे. अगर एक मैट्रिक्स का आइगन x है तो दूसरी मैट्रिक्स का आइगन क्या होगा? P इनवर्स x. क्योंकि सिमिलर मैट्रिसेस है, दैट मींस वी हैव वन P मैट्रिक्स. तो जैसे ही आपको एक आइगन वेक्टर पता है, उसमें आप P इनवर्स का मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे उस आइगन वेक्टर में, तो आपको जो आइगन वेक्टर मिलेगा वो क्या होगा? दूसरी मैट्रिक्स का होगा. मींस दूसरी मींस A का अगर आइगन वेक्टर है तो हम P इनवर्स का जब मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो हमें B मिलेगा. सिमिलरली अगर B का वो आइगन वेक्टर है तो हम जब P इनवर्स का मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो हमें क्या मिलेगा? वो A का आइगन वेक्टर मिलेगा. सो दे हैव सिमिलर मैट्रिसेस हैव सेम आइगन वैल्यूज बट डिफरेंट आइगन वेक्टर्स. Now the questions examine whether A is similar to B. So I told you to check whether two matrices are similar, we have to search this matrix P, whether this invertible matrix P exists such that this combination is equal to A or this combination is equal to B. So we have to search the P matrix. So because we don't know what is P such that this condition is satisfied, so what we will do, here we have A matrix and B matrix. So we know that the given matrices will be similar if there exists an invertible matrix P such that either A is equal to P inverse BP, or if we multiply this equation by capital P from the left, then it is PA is equal to BP. So either we use this definition or this definition or this definition. So we are using this definition, means we are checking whether the A and B matrix are similar. So we must have this condition that PA must be equal to BP. So PA is equal to BP, for which we must know what is P, because we have A matrix, we have B matrix, but we don't know about P. So let us try this. Suppose, because we don't know P, so we will assume that P's matrix is like this, because these are 2 by 2 matrices. This is square matrix of order 2, this is a square matrix of order 2. So the P matrix would also be of order 2. So suppose we are assuming that, suppose the P matrix is A, B, C, D. Now we have to find out the values of A, B, C, D, because we have to check whether A is similar to B. That means we have to check this condition, whether we have one matrix P such that PA is equal to BP. So we will now finding out what is P. So we are assuming that P is A, B, C, D, where we have to determine the values of A, B, C, D. So now, because we have to satisfy this condition to check whether these are similar or not, so we will use this definition. So PA is equal to BP. So this is your P matrix. This is your A matrix. This 5, 5, minus 2, 0. And this is your B matrix. This 1, 2, minus 3, 4. And this is your P matrix. So PA is equal to BP. So now we have to multiply these. Means we have to check whether these two matrices are equal or not. So first we have to multiply this. So 5A minus 2B. And second element would be 5A plus 0B. So we have this multiplication, 5A minus 2B, 5A, next 5C minus 2D, and this 5C minus 0D, so 5C. So this is left hand side matrix. Now the right hand side multiplication. So A plus 2C, so this B plus 2D, next minus 3, 4, 8C, so minus 3A plus 4C, and minus 3B plus 4D. Yeah. So we have means we have multiplied this these matrices, and we have multiplied the matrices on the right hand side. So now we have two matrices. This matrix is equal means where if these matrices are equal, so when what is the condition when the two matrices are equal? When the corresponding elements of the matrices are same, means first element is equal to first element, second element is equal to second element, third element is equal to third element, fourth element is equal to fourth element. So if these are equal, then the corresponding elements must be equal. So 5a minus 2b is equal to a plus 2c, and 5a is equal to b plus 2d. Similarly, the third element and the fourth element. So we have these four conditions. So this is a system of linear equations in which we have four equations and four variables. So means now you have to solve this system to get the values of a, b, c, d. So I hope assume that you know how to solve this system. You can use the rank method to solve this system, or you can simply use elimination method in what you studied up in the 10th standard or 9th standard. So these are three equations. So what you do, either you can find out the values of d from here and substitute here. So convert the system of more number of variable into a system of less number of variables. So either you use rank method. This is a system of four linear equation in four variables. So we will and this is homogeneous system because there is no constant term. So this is homogeneous system. So only you have to find out the rank of a coefficient matrix. 4 2 0 4 minus 2 minus 2 0, 5 minus 1 0 minus 2, 3 0 1 minus 2, 3 sorry 0 3 5 minus 4. So you have this matrix. Find out the rank of this matrix, and after finding out the rank, you can have the solution of this system. So after solving this, we are getting these values: a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1, c is equal to 1, d is equal to 2. So now we got the values of a, b, c, d. So P matrix is this 1 1 1 2. So 1 1 1 2. Now only thing which is left means this condition is satisfied, but we have to check whether this matrix is invertible or not, whether inverse of this matrix exists or does not exist. So the inverse of any matrix is exist means that exist only when this is non-singular, means determinant of this matrix is non-zero. So determinant of this matrix is 1 into 2 and minus 1 into 1. So 2 minus 1, which is non-zero, minus 1. So this matrix is non-singular, and for every an inverse of every non-singular matrix exists. So now we have condition that we have one invertible matrix P such that this condition is satisfied. So we will say that A matrix is similar to B or B is similar to A. So these in the question number 1, these are two similar matrices. Now in the second question, also means we have to check this condition. So PA must be equal to BP. So this is your A matrix, this is your B matrix. Now assume P as A, B, C, D, because again we have 2 by 2 order matrices. So P is A, B, C, D. Now multiply PA and BP and make these matrices equal. So we will have this system. So this system is equal to this matrix. So A would be equal to A plus C, B is equal to B plus D, C is equal to C, D is equal to D. So whenever you solve this system, you will get like this. So we have C and D are equal to 0. Clear? A is equal to A plus C. So whenever you solve this system, so A is equal to A plus C, that means C must be equal to 0. So C is 0. Again, B is equal to B plus D, that means D must be 0. So D is 0. Now we have other variables. So if C is 0, so A is equal to A because C is 0, D is 0. So A is equal to A, B is equal to B. So means any matrix of this type is P. So we have matrix P like A is A, B is B, and C is 0, D is 0. But if you check, this is singular matrix. What is the determinant of this matrix? A into 0 minus 0 into B. So this is the means this determinant is 0. That means this is singular matrix. And you know, for singular matrix, the inverse does not exist. So if the inverse does not exist, means we are unable to find out one invertible matrix P such that that condition, means PA is equal to BP, is satisfied. So in this case, we will say these matrices are not similar, because we are unable to find out one invertible matrix P. And you can verify that also. I told you that the similar matrices have the same eigenvalues. So if you check, these are this is diagonal elements. Sorry, this is the eigenvalues of this matrix are 1 1, and if you check for B, the eigenvalues of that matrix are 0 and 2. So because the eigenvalues are different, so we cannot say these are similar. If they are similar, then the eigenvalues must be equal. So we can verify that also. So now you know what are similar matrices and how to check whether two matrices are similar or not. Now, what is this remark? It is very important because the questions we made in the previously we made the question which are of order 2. These are square matrices of order 2. So for square matrices of order 2, the finding out P is very easy because we have 4 variables and 4 equations. So solving this system is relatively easy, but what will happen when we have 3 by 3 order, the matrices of 3 by 3, the square matrices of order 3. So in that case, the P would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, means it would be of 3 by 3 order. That means 9 variables. We have 9 in this 2 by 2 matrix. We have 4 variables, but if these are 3 by 3 order matrices, then we have the P matrix of order 3. That means how many variables would be there? So it is 3 by 3. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So we have 9 variables, and 9 variables also and how many conditions are there? The 3 by 3 matrix is equal to 3 by 3 matrix. That means 9 combinations. First is equal to first, second is equal to second, third is equal to third. Similarly for other rows. So we have 9 variables, 9 equations. So again, we have to find out 9 variables, the values of 9 variables using 9 equation. So it is relatively not easy, means it will take time. So this remark is saying the same thing, that in practice, it is very difficult to obtain a non-singular matrix P which satisfies the equation A is equal to P inverse PP. So I've told you with the example, because these are 2 by 2 matrices. So we have 4 variables, 4 equations. But for 3 by 3 order matrices, we have 9 variables, 9 equations. So it would be relatively tough to find out the values of 9 variables. So for any two matrices A and B means, however, it is possible to obtain the matrix P when A and B, when A or B is a diagonal matrix. Means for general matrix, means for general 3 by 3 ordered matrix, the finding out P is very tough. But if either A or B is diagonal matrix, then the process is easy. This remark is saying the same thing, that it is very difficult to obtain a matrix P for general 3 by 3 order matrix or matrices of order higher order. But if either the matrix A or the matrix B is diagonal matrix, then the process is little bit easy. So however, it is possible to obtain the matrix P easily when A or B is a diagonal matrix. So thus our interest is to find a similarity matrix P such that for a given matrix A, we have means we are saying that either when either A is diagonal or B is diagonal, then finding out P is easy. So either D is means B is diagonal or A is diagonal. So this is the condition, means we are assuming that suppose that B is diagonal. So or A is diagonal. So A is equal to, sorry, B is diagonal here because I'm using A matrix here. So here we are assuming that B is diagonal. So and you know that to represent a diagonal matrix we use D. So D is equal to P inverse AP. That means A is similar to this matrix D, which is a diagonal matrix. So or in the other way we can say, if P D P inverse is equal to A, this is the condition for similar matrices. If this P matrix exists such that P D P inverse is A, then we will say A is similar to D matrix. Clear? Where D is a diagonal matrix. So if such a matrix exists, then we say matrix A is diagonalizable. So now the next question, answer of the next question, when we will say that particular matrix, the given matrix is diagonalizable. So we will say a matrix is diagonalizable when there exists D matrix which is similar to A. Means whenever a matrix A, the given matrix A is similar to a diagonal matrix, then we will say that A is diagonalizable. Clear? What is the condition? A matrix A is diagonalizable if it is similar to a diagonal matrix capital D. So this is the application, means now we are using the same definition of similar matrices. Means I'm saying now the a matrix is diagonalizable when it is similar to a diagonal matrix D. That means our next process is, next question is, means if we can prove that A is similar to similar to a diagonal matrix D, then you have to find out, means when we will say that A is similar to A is similar to a diagonal matrix D, when there exists an invertible matrix P such that A is equal to P D P inverse. So this is the condition for similar matrices. So if the matrix P exists such that P D P inverse is equal to A, then we will say A is similar to D and D is diagonal matrix. Or whenever, means now the condition, whenever a matrix is similar to a diagonal matrix, then A is called diagonalizable. Clear? So this is the definition. When one matrix is diagonalizable, when it is, means the matrix is diagonalizable when it is similar to a diagonal matrix capital D. So what is diagonal matrix? Diagonal matrix is that matrix where all non-diagonal elements are zero. Clear? Diagonal matrix is what? The matrix which is where non-diagonal elements are zero. So where D is a diagonal matrix, since similar matrices have the same eigenvalues and the diagonal elements D are the eigenvalues of A. Why? I assume, or I remind you that what was that remark, that the eigenvalues of a diagonal matrix are the elements of the diagonal matrix. The eigenvalues of a diagonal matrix are its diagonal elements. So and so the means if we have to find out the eigenvalues of a diagonal matrix D, then we can say simply by observing, by seeing this matrix D, that the diagonal elements of D are the eigenvalues of D. And when A is similar to D, so using that remark that similar matrices have the same eigenvalues. So whatever the eigenvalues of D, they are also the eigenvalues of A. So finding out the eigenvalues of A is very easy if we know this D matrix. Clear? The diagonal elements of this D matrix are the eigenvalues of D and these are also the eigenvalues of A, because similar matrices have the same eigenvalues. Now one theorem, what is the statement? A square matrix A of order n. So this is a given matrix of order n. It is diagonalizable if and only if it has n linearly independent eigenvectors. Clear? means now what is the condition. So this theorem we will use to check whether the given matrix is diagonalizable or not. So what is the statement of this theorem? This theorem is saying that a square matrix of order n is diagonalizable if and only if it has n linearly independent eigenvectors. So it is a matrix of order n. So we will have n eigenvalues, and corresponding to each eigenvalue we have eigenvectors. So if those eigenvectors are linearly independent, then we will say this matrix is diagonalizable. So we have to check this condition for every questions. So now we have questions, means we have to check whether this matrix, the given matrix, is diagonalizable. So we have to check whether it has n linearly independent eigenvectors. Means suppose if it is a matrix of order 3, so we have to check whether this matrix has 3 linearly independent eigenvectors. So if it has 3 linearly independent eigenvectors, then we will say it is diagonalizable. So it depends on the order. If it is a matrix of order 2, then we have to check whether it has 2 linearly independent eigenvectors, then we will say it is diagonalizable. So this is our objective. So we will use this theorem to check whether the given matrix is diagonalizable or not. So this is the proof. If somebody is interested, he or she can go through this proof. If he or she finds any difficulty, we can discuss in the live class or on the WhatsApp group. Otherwise, I'll go through this proof very quickly. So how to prove this theorem means what is the theorem is saying, whenever a matrix has n linearly independent eigenvectors, it is diagonalizable. So we are proving that part. Suppose matrix A has n linearly independent eigenvectors. So we are assuming the reverse condition. The matrix A has n linearly independent eigenvectors. So what are those eigenvectors? X1, X2, Xn. So these are n linearly independent eigenvectors corresponding to you know that eigenvectors are corresponding to the eigenvalues. So we have n eigenvalues because matrix A is of order n. So we have n eigenvalues, lambda 1, lambda 2, and lambda n. Not necessarily distinct, means they may be different or some of them may be equal. So these are n eigenvalues of a matrix A, and with respect to each of these eigenvalues, we have eigenvectors x1 corresponding to lambda 1, x2 corresponding to lambda 2, xn corresponding to lambda n, and these are linearly independent eigenvectors. We are assuming that these eigenvectors are linearly independent. Now in the same order, means what is the meaning of this line? In the same order, that means x1 is with respect to lambda 1, x2 is with respect to lambda 2, and xn is with respect to lambda n. That is, eigenvector xi corresponds to eigenvalue lambda I for every I 1 to n. Now assume P. Now what we have assumed that A has n linearly independent eigenvectors. Now we will prove that the matrix A is diagonalizable. So we will use the definition of diagonalizable matrix. We have to prove that A is diagonalizable. That means we have to prove that there exists one invertible matrix P such that PD P inverse is equal to A. Clear? So now we are finding out that P. So assume P matrix such that P is equal to matrix where first column is x1, second column is x2, third column is x3, and last column is xn. So these are eigenvectors. So first eigenvector as first column, second eigenvector as second column, similarly nth eigenvector as nth column. So this is matrix P. Now we are also assuming that D is the diagonal matrix, as this is one of the representation of diagonal matrix. If you remember in the definition of diagonal matrix, we can represent the diagonal matrix like this also. Diag lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda n, means this is one diagonal matrix whose diagonal elements are lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda n, and all non-diagonal elements are 0. Clear? So we have assumed two things. First, P is a matrix where the columns are the eigenvectors of the matrix A, and capital D is the one diagonal element matrix where the diagonal elements are lambda 1, lambda 2 up to lambda n. Now we are proving that condition, this condition like we used for this, that if PA is equal to BP, so if we are able to find out the matrix P such that PA is equal to BP, then we will say A is similar to B. Now we have to prove diagonalizable, A is diagonalizable matrix. That means we have to prove that A is similar to matrix capital D. So we have to check this, whether PA is equal to DP. So now in case of B, we have D matrix, because we have to check, we have to prove that A is diagonalizable, that A, then A must be equal to, A must be similar to a diagonal matrix capital D. So PA is equal to DP, that we have to prove. So we are checking that AP is equal to, so either PA is equal to DP or AP is equal to PD. Both conditions are same, there is no difference. This is A is equal to PD P inverse. That means if we multiply P inverse from the left, sorry, uh, P inverse, sorry, P from right. So we have to this is the condition of similar matrices. Now if we multiply P from the right side, so it is AP is equal to PD. Clear? AP is equal to PD because we are multiplying P from the right. So P inverse P is identity. So here also we have A into P, and this is equal to PD. So AP, finding out the value of AP. So it is AP. What is AP? P is this matrix x1, x2, x3, xn. So we are multiplying A to P. That means A would be multiplied to each of this matrices, or each of these the elements of P. So this is AX1. This is the value of P, x1, x2, x3, xn. So we are multiplying A from A to P. So AX1, AX2, AX3, AXN. Now because we have assumed that x1 is is an eigenvector corresponding to eigenvalue lambda 1. And what is the condition when lambda 1 is eigenvalue and its corresponding eigenvector is x1? So if you remember, this is the condition AX. If AX is equal to lambda x, then we say x is the eigenvector corresponding to lambda. Clear? If this is your condition, this is your equation, AX is equal to lambda x, then we say lambda is eigenvalue and x is eigenvector. So similarly, if x1 is eigenvector corresponding to lambda 1, then we must have AX1 is equal to lambda 1 x1. Similarly, AX2 is equal to lambda 2 x2 and AX3 is equal to lambda 3 x3. So this is the condition when we say then lambda is eigenvalue and x is corresponding eigenvector. So AX1 must be equal to lambda 1 x1 from this condition, since AXI is equal to lambda xi for every I, because we have assumed that xi is an eigenvector corresponding to eigenvalue lambda I. So we must have AX is equal to lambda I xi. So lambda x1 is equal to lambda 1, sorry, AX1 is equal to lambda 1 x1, AX2 is equal to lambda 2 x2, AX3 is equal to lambda 3 xc. Similarly, the last equation AXN is equal to lambda, must be lambda n xn. Clear? So this is your one matrix. Now we have converted this matrix into multiplication of two matrices like x1, x2, x3, xn, and other matrix is one diagonal matrix lambda 1 0 0 0 lambda 2 0 0 0 0 0 up to lambda n. So if you multiply these matrices, what we will get? If you multiply these matrices, this is x1, x2, x3 means one row vector, and this is n by n order matrix. So if you multiply, what you will get? X1 lambda 1, 0 x2, 0 x3, 0 xn. So the first element would be lambda 1 x1. Similarly, if you multiply this row to the second column, then 0 x1, lambda 2 x2, 0 x3, 0 xn. So second element is lambda 2 x2. Similarly, the last element, if you multiply this row to the last column, then 0 x1, 0 x2, 0 x3 up to lambda n xn. So last element is lambda n xn. So this is your first matrix. I have written it as it is. So x1, x2, x3, xn is x1, x2, x3, xn, and this is because this is one diagonal matrix whose diagonal elements are lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda n. So, and we have assumed that this diagonal means this is one diagonal matrix, so we can write this as D. So this is capital D. Clear? So now, and this is your P matrix, this x1, x2, x3, xn. So this is PD. So now we have proved that AP is equal to PD. Now you multiply this, means this condition is sufficient to say that A is similar to diagonal matrix D. But otherwise, if you go for most general definition, so this is, you multiply this equation by P inverse from the right. So it is AP P inverse, P is equal to PD P inverse. So P into P inverse is identity. So this is equal to A. So A is equal to PD P inverse. So this is the condition of similar matrices. So now we have proved that there exists one matrix P such that PD P inverse is equal to A. That means A is called similar to matrix D. So now we have proved that A is similar to D means A is similar to a diagonal matrix. But still we have one question, whether this matrix P is diagonal invertible, because what is the condition? We have to prove that A is similar to diagonal matrix. That means we have to prove that there exists one invertible matrix P such that PD P inverse is equal to A. Now, so only thing which is left is to prove that P is invertible. Now, if you remember, the columns of P are Li, because all independent, these are eigenvectors which are linearly independent. That means first column, second column, third column, and last column, they are all independent columns. So independent columns, so the rank of this matrix would be equal to the vectors. If you remember, what is the condition, what was the condition of linearly independent vectors? So if you set them as rows or columns, if the rank of this matrix is equal to the eigenvectors, sorry, the vectors, then we say this is the rank of this matrix is equal to n. Clear? What was the condition of independent vectors? If the rank of this matrix is equal to the number of vectors, then we say that these vectors are linearly independent, and we have already assumed that these vectors are linearly independent. That means the rank of this matrix must be equal to the number of eigenvectors. So how many eigenvectors are there? N. So the rank of matrix is of this matrix P is n. And if the rank of this matrix P is n, which is a square matrix of order n, so now again you know that uh, if this matrix is singular, then the rank of this matrix must be less than n. But because the rank of this matrix is n, then this matrix must be non-singular. Its determinant must be non-zero, because this is the determinant of this matrix is the largest ordered minor of this matrix. So that must be non-zero to have the rank n of this matrix. So columns of P are Li. So the rank of P is n. Therefore, the inverse of this matrix exists. Clear? So we have proved that now there exists one invertible matrix P such that A is equal to PD P inverse. That means A matrix is similar to a diagonal matrix, and whenever A is similar to a diagonal matrix D, then we say that A is diagonalizable. So we have proved that when A has n linearly independent eigenvectors, then A is diagonalizable. So what is left to prove that, not to prove, but whenever we will make the questions, we have to prove whether, we have to check whether the given matrix is diagonalizable. We will check whether the eigenvectors of that matrix are linearly independent. And how to form that matrix P, similar matrix? So this P is the matrix where the columns are corresponding to eigenvectors. So first eigenvector, second eigenvector, third eigenvector, nth eigenvector. So for that matrix, we will first find out eigenvectors, and where we will check whether these vectors are independent or not. If these vectors are independent, then we say using this theorem that A matrix is diagonalizable. Clear? So the next remark, if a square matrix A of order n has always n independent eigenvectors when its eigenvalues are distinct. So there is no need to, means only if you have to answer only whether this matrix is diagonalizable or not, and you know the eigenvalues of that matrix. So if all eigenvalues are different of that matrix, we will say it will be diagonalizable. Why? Because for different eigenvalues we have the independent eigenvectors. So if all eigenvalues are distinct, then we always have independent eigenvectors, and when we have independent eigenvectors, we say that A is diagonalizable. And if the matrix means the matrix may also have n independent eigenvectors even when some eigenvalues are repeated. So whenever we have distinct all different eigenvalues, in that case A is always diagonalizable. But when we have some means repeated eigenvalues, then we have to check whether we can find independent eigenvectors with respect to repeated eigenvalues or not. So this is the question. So we cannot make the restriction on the eigenvalues, whether if all eigenvalues are different, then we are 100% sure that the matrix is diagonalizable. But when we have repeated eigenvalues, we cannot say that whether matrix is diagonalizable or not. We have to check in that condition. And one second remark is, since A is equal to PDP inverse for the diagonalizable matrix, so if you square this A square, so whatever is what is the A square? A square is A into A. So putting the value of A, it is PDP inverse. Second A is PDP inverse. So the matrix multiplication is associative. So PD P inverse into P, this, and dP inverse. So P inverse P is identity again. So identity into something is that matrix, means PD into I into D, that means PDD P inverse, that means it is D square. So it is PD square P inverse. So A square is equal to PD square P inverse. Similarly, A cube is equal to PD cube P inverse. And similarly, A to the power m is equal to PD to the power m P inverse for any positive integer m. So in this way, we can find out the powers of A. Suppose we have to find out A to the power 4. So we have to find out P d to the power 4 P inverse. Because if A is a matrix of order 3, so calculating A to the power 4 is difficult, or it is time consuming. But calculating D to the power 4 is easy, because this D is diagonal matrix. So what D to the power 4 is equal to the because all non-diagonal elements are 0 and it has some diagonal elements, so you have to make the power 4 of the diagonal elements. So lambda 1 4, lambda 2 4, lambda 3 to the power 4, like this. So it is relatively easy to calculate. So therefore A is diagonalizable. So A to the power m is also diagonalizable, because the A to the power m is also satisfying that condition. It is similar to a diagonal matrix D to the power m. Now the question, diagonalize this matrix. So what you have to do to check whether this matrix is diagonalizable, you have to find out the eigenvectors. And to have, means how to find out eigenvector, first we have to calculate the eigenvalues. And how to find out the eigenvalues, you have to calculate the characteristic equation, because the roots of the characteristic equations are the eigenvalues. So the first step is to find out the characteristic equation of that matrix, and you know how to find out the characteristic equation. So this is your A matrix. What is the characteristic equation? Determinant of A minus lambda I is equal to 0. So subtracting lambda from the diagonal elements, 1 minus lambda, 2 minus lambda, 3 minus lambda. So this is your A minus lambda I matrix. Finding out the determinant, you will get this characteristic equation: lambda plus 1, lambda minus 3, lambda minus 4 is equal to 0. So if you solve this, you will find out roots of this equation. Those are called eigenvalues. So these are minus 1, 3, 4. Now, with respect to each eigenvalue, we have to find out the eigenvectors, because we have to find out the matrix P, and P is what? It is a matrix where columns are with respect to eigenvectors. So we have to find out eigenvectors. But by observing the eigenvalues, we can say, because we have all different eigenvalues in this case, -1, 3, 4. So if all eigenvalues are different, we have linearly independent eigenvectors. So in this case, the matrix is diagonalizable. So yes or no, we can tell from here. Yes, this matrix is diagonalizable because we have all different eigenvalues. That means we will have linearly independent eigenvectors. So now the process is left to find out P. So you have to find out the eigenvector corresponding to -1, corresponding to 3, corresponding to 4. So now with respect to lambda -1. So A minus lambda is x is equal to 0. So what is lambda? -1. So A plus I x is equal to 0. So you have to add 1 to the diagonal elements of A. So 1 plus 1, 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1. So 2, 3, 4, and rest elements are same. So this is your A minus lambda x is equal to 0 for lambda is equal to -1. Now you know this is your homogeneous system. You have to find out the non-trivial solution to find out the eigenvector. And when the non-trivial solution exists, when the rank of this matrix is less than 3. So first convert this into echelon form. So now you can use this two and you make these elements 0. But I have means this book has operated one more operation, R1 interchanged to R2, because in this way we can make our calculations easy. So we have converted this, we have shifted this row to here and this row to here. So 130,261,004. Now apply echelon form. So this is 1. Now make these elements 0. So row third is already 0, making this element 0. So how to make this? R2 is changed like R2 minus 2 R1, because this is 2, this is 1. So you have to multiply 2 here and subtract from here. So 2 minus 2 0, 6 minus 2 times 6 3. So 6 minus 6 0, and 1 minus 2 times 0 is 1. So 130 is as it is. This is 001, and third row is 0, as it is 004. Now what is the next step for the echelon form? Now we have to shift from here to here, use this and make the other element 0 in this column. But this whole column is 0, so we will shift to the next column. We will use this and make these elements 0. So now we will use this and make this 0. So this is R3. So R3 is changed to R3 minus 4 R2. So this is 1 3. I don't know. This is not the compulsory step. R1 is it has been changed like R1 minus R2, but this is not compulsory step. To you directly write 130, now 001, and last row is, because 4 times 4 0. So this is 0. So now rank is 2. So rank is 2 and variables are 3. So one variable is independent. So we have equations like x1 plus 3x2, and if you use this, then this is 0x3 is equal to 0. And last equation is 0, this is 1x3 is equal to 0. So x3 is 0. Now you know how to solve this. I don't want to repeat this because we have solved a lot of questions for homogeneous system. So x3 is 0 because one variable is independent, because rank is 2 and variables are 3. So one variable is independent, and x3 is 0. So out of the other two, x1, x2, we can make any variable as independent. So for this question, we have made x2 as k. So x1 is minus 3k. So eigenvector is minus 3k, k 0. So I have taken value of k as 1. So this is minus 3, 1 0. So this is your first vector. Now with respect to second eigenvalue, which is 3. So we have one system, and you know how to solve this. You will get other eigenvector. Next, for third eigenvalue, we have one homogeneous system. You solve this using echelon form, you will get one another eigenvector. So now making the matrix P, which is first eigenvector, second eigenvector, third eigenvector, because we have 3 by 3 matrix, the matrix of order 3 by 3. So because we already know the answer, because we have different eigenvalues, all distinct eigenvalues, so we always find the matrix P, which is invertible, and the PDP inverse is A. So now this is your P matrix where the columns are eigenvectors, first eigenvector, second eigenvector, third eigenvector. So this is your P matrix. Now we have to calculate that P inverse AP, because we have to find out D. Because what was the question? Diagonalize the matrix A. So we have to find out the matrix D. So what is D? From that relation here, this means any, you can use this is A is equal to PD inverse. So how to find out PD? You have to multiply here my P inverse from the left and P from the right. So P inverse AP. Now P inverse P is identity and P inverse P is identity. So this is D. What is left here on the right hand side? Only D. So D is equal to P inverse AP. So we have to check P inverse AP. So now you have P. Now we have to check P inverse AP. So A we have already. A is the given matrix. P is this matrix. Now finding out P inverse. So how to find out P inverse? It is adjoint P divided by determinant P. So you know how to calculate adjoint of P. You have to find out cofactors of this and using the transpose. So we will get, this is adjoint P, this is determinant P. So this is your P inverse. So P inverse, this is your given matrix A and this is matrix P. If you multiply these matrices, you will get one diagonal matrix whose diagonal elements are -1, 3, 4. So this is your D matrix. So this is the question. Yeah, and you can verify that all diagonal element must be equal to the eigenvalues. So what were the eigenvalues? -1, 3, 4. So in this case, we always know our answer. What is D? D is -1, 3, 4 diagonal matrix. Now the next question, reduce this to diagonal form. So again, we have, first we have to find out a characteristic equation. So this is your characteristic equation, the eigenvalues, and with respect to, again we have different eigenvalues, so we will get the matrix P. In this case, the matrix is diagonalizable. So for first eigenvalue, this is your first eigenvector, this is your second eigenvalue. So you apply the same process. This is your second eigenvector. Similarly for third eigenvalue, this is your third eigenvector. So the matrix P is first eigenvector, second eigenvector, third eigenvector. Now what is the process? You have to find out D. So for D, you need to calculate D is equal to P inverse AP. You have to find out this. Clear? So now you have P. A is your given matrix. Now you have to find out P inverse. So either you have to find out P inverse. So use either adjoint P by determinant P, like in the previous question. P inverse is adjoint P by determinant P, or because in this unit also we have studied about how to find out P inverse using the elementary transformation. So this is that method, but this is your optional, means this is one alternate. Here there is no restriction, you have to use this method to find out inverse. You can use any of the method you know for finding out the P inverse. So it is your choice. So either you use adjoint P by determinant P or use the elementary transformation method. So using any of the method, you will have the P inverse. Now multiply this P inverse AP. So this is your P inverse, this is your given matrix A, this is your P matrix. Multiply this, you will get one diagonal matrix whose diagonal elements are, they must be the eigenvalues. So eigenvalues were 1 root 5 minus root 5. So it is 1 root 5 minus root 5. ठीक है, तो एक ही इसी टाइप के सारे क्वेश्चंस होंगे. अगेन वन मोर क्वेश्चन, डायगोनलाइज दिस मैट्रिक्स हेंस फाइंड a to the power 5. तो पहले डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स डायगोनलाइज बनाने के लिए क्या करेंगे? पहले कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन निकालेंगे, कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन के रूट्स निकालेंगे, वो हो गए आइगन वैल्यूज. आइगन वैल्यूज हर एक के करस्पॉन्डिंग आप क्या निकालोगे? आइगन वेक्टर. फर्स्ट आइगन वेक्टर आ गया, सेकंड आइगन वेक्टर आ गया, थर्ड आइगन वेक्टर आ गया, ये पी मैट्रिक्स हो गई, फिर पी इनवर्स निकालिए, फिर पी इनवर्स एपी निकालिए। वो क्या आएगा, एक डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स जिसके डायगोनल एलिमेंट्स क्या आएंगे, आइगन वैल्यूज, यानी 0 1 2 इस केस में। ठीक है, तो 0 1 2 हो गया। अब आपको मैंने एक रिमार्क लिखवाया था जिसमें a टू द पावर m की वैल्यू क्या थी, p d टू द पावर m p इनवर्स। तो d टू द पावर 5 किसी भी डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स की कोई भी पावर आप कैलकुलेट करोगे तो सिंपली आपको क्या करना है, डायगोनल एलिमेंट्स पे वो पावर लगानी है। सो d टू द पावर 5 इज इक्वल टू, दिस इज योर d मैट्रिक्स, दिस इज योर d मैट्रिक्स। सिंपली आपने d पर वही डायगोनल एलिमेंट्स से वही पावर निकाली है। सो d टू द पावर 5 मींस 0 टू द पावर 5, 1 टू द पावर 5, 2 टू द पावर 5। सो दिस इज 0 1 2। सो एलिमेंट क्या आएंगे, 0 1 and 2 to the power 5 is 32. So this is your d to the power 5. Now a to the power 5 कैसे निकालना है, p ये मैट्रिक्स है, d to the power 5 यहाँ से मिल गया, और p इनवर्स आपके पास ऑलरेडी है, यहाँ पर आपने कैलकुलेट किया है। सो इन तीनों को जो मल्टीप्लाई करोगे वो क्या मिलेगा आपका, a to the power 5 मैट्रिक्स। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, प्रूव दैट दिस मैट्रिक्स इज नॉट डायगोनलाइजेबल। अभी तक सारे क्वेश्चन डायगोनलाइज हो गए थे, बट ऐसा जरूरी नहीं कि सारे क्वेश्चन डायगोनल फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट हो जाएंगे। इट डिपेंड्स वेदर वी हैव n linearly independent eigen vectors or not। तो डिफरेंट, अगर सारी आइगन वैल्यूज डिफरेंट हैं तो 100% वो डायगोनलाइजेबल बन जाएगा, p मिल जाएगा। बट अगर रिपीटेड है तो हमें चेक करना पड़ेगा। सो क्वेश्चन इज कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन, आपने आइगन वैल्यूज निकाली सारी, तो इस केस में रिपीटेड है इसलिए हमें चेक करना पड़ेगा। सो रिपीटेड के केस में हम पहले रिपीटेड की केस में चेक कर लेते हैं कि उसके करस्पॉन्डिंग इंडिपेंडेंट मिल रहे हैं कि नहीं, क्योंकि जो डिफरेंट है -1 उसके करस्पॉन्डिंग तो मिलेगा ही, लेकिन जब रिपीटेड है तो रिपीटेड 2 है तो दोनों के हमें इन दो के करस्पॉन्डिंग 2 इंडिपेंडेंट आइगन वेक्टर्स चाहिए। अगर वो मिल गए तो ये डायगोनलाइज हो जाएगा। सो लैम्डा इज इक्वल टू 2 के लिए ही चेक कर लेते हैं। सो लैम्डा इज इक्वल टू 2 के लिए आइगन वेक्टर कैसे निकालना है, a माइनस लैम्डा आई एक्स इज इक्वल टू 0। लैम्डा की वैल्यू क्या है 2। इस सिस्टम को सॉल्व कीजिए, तो इस सिस्टम को इन्होंने इकोलॉन फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट किया और चेक किया। ये देखिए इसकी रैंक क्या आ रही है, 1 2, और वेरिएबल्स कितने 3। सो 3 माइनस 2 यानी एक वेरिएबल इंडिपेंडेंट हुआ। और इफ यू रिमेंबर दैट रिमार्क कि किसी भी आइगन, अगर उसकी मल्टीप्लिसिटी m है किसी भी आइगन वैल्यू की, तो उसके करस्पॉन्डिंग कितने लीनियरली इंडिपेंडेंट आइगन वेक्टर मिलेंगे, n माइनस r। n तो हो गया ऑर्डर ऑफ द मैट्रिक्स, सॉरी वेरिएबल्स, नंबर ऑफ वेरिएबल्स, एंड r हो गया रैंक ऑफ a माइनस लैम्डा आई। सो रैंक ऑफ a माइनस लैम्डा आई कितना है 2, और वेरिएबल्स कितने 3। सो 3 माइनस 2 इज 1। सो एक ही आइगन इंडिपेंडेंट आइगन वेक्टर मिलेगा विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दीज टू आइगन वैल्यूज। क्लियर। सो एक ही मिलेगा, दैट मीन्स एक -1 के करस्पॉन्डिंग मिलेगा और एक 2 के करस्पॉन्डिंग मिलेगा। तो टोटल कितने हो गए, 2 आइगन वेक्टर्स, 2 इंडिपेंडेंट आइगन वेक्टर्स। हमको कितने चाहिए, अगर ऑर्डर 3 की मैट्रिक्स है हमें 3 इंडिपेंडेंट आइगन वेक्टर्स चाहिए, बट इस केस में हमें क्या मिल रहे हैं, 2 ही मिल रहे हैं, और 2 मिल रहे हैं। सो दिस मैट्रिक्स इज नॉट diagonalizable, that means there does not exist the matrix P, invertible matrix P। तो बस और कुछ नहीं है, सेम आपको यही करना है। P हमें इस क्वेश्चन में भी P में मैट्रिक्स को निकालना है such that this matrix is diagonalizable। now this is 2 by 2 मैट्रिक्स, तो 2 by 2 के केस में आप वैसे भी कर सकते हो, केवल चेक करना है तो हमें P पता है कैसे निकालना है, ABCD करके मल्टीप्लाई करके PA इज इक्वल टू BP करना है। बट यहाँ हमें डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स के वो सिमिलर, सॉरी वो क्वेश्चन था सिमिलरिटी चेक करने के लिए, वेदर टू मैट्रिसेस आर सिमिलर, तो हम PA इज इक्वल टू BP कर लेते थे। बट जब भी हमें डायगोनलाइजेशन करना है तो हमें इसी प्रोसेस से करना पड़ेगा। पहले आइगन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन निकालिए, फिर आइगन वैल्यूज निकाल लीजिए, और हर एक आइगन वैल्यू के करस्पॉन्डिंग आइगन वेक्टर चेक कीजिए वो इंडिपेंडेंट है या नहीं, क्योंकि हमें डिस्टिंक्ट आइगन वैल्यूज मिल रही हैं। सो वी ऑलवेज गेट इंडिपेंडेंट आइगन वेक्टर्स। तो 2 के करस्पॉन्डिंग हमने उसी प्रोसेस से a माइनस लैम्डा आई एक्स इज इक्वल टू 0 से हमने आइगन वेक्टर निकाला, ये आया तो वो कितना आ गया 1 माइनस 2। सिमिलरली नेक्स्ट के लिए हमने आइगन वेक्टर निकाला, वो कितना आया 1 1। सो दिस इज योर P मैट्रिक्स। सो आप इसका P इनवर्स निकाल लीजिए, P इनवर्स AP कीजिए, तीनों को मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो आपको एक डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स मिलेगा जिसके डायगोनल एलिमेंट्स क्या होंगे, उसके आइगन वैल्यूज। वो कितनी है 2 5। सो दिस इज 2 5। क्लियर। नाउ दिस इज सम डिफरेंट क्वेश्चन। आइगन वेक्टर्स, किसी भी A मैट्रिक्स के आइगन वेक्टर्स आपको दिए हैं, दिस इज फर्स्ट आइगन वेक्टर, दिस इज सेकंड आइगन वेक्टर, थर्ड आइगन वेक्टर, और ये उसकी आइगन वैल्यूज हैं 1 1 3। आपको क्या करना है, मैट्रिक्स A निकालना है। सो दिस इज रिवर्स क्वेश्चन। आपको ए मैट्रिक्स की आइगन वैल्यूज दी हैं, आइगन वेक्टर्स दिए हैं, अब आपको मैट्रिक्स को बताना है वो मैट्रिक्स क्या होगी। क्लियर? तो हम डायगोनलाइजेशन का ही कंसेप्ट यूज करेंगे। ये आइगन वेक्टर्स हैं, तो आइगन वेक्टर्स हैं तो हमने पी मैट्रिक्स बना लिया। पी मैट्रिक्स क्या होगी? फर्स्ट आइगन वेक्टर, सेकंड आइगन वेक्टर, थर्ड आइगन वेक्टर। और डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स क्या होती है? जब भी हम अगर इफ ए इज डायगोनलाइजेबल, सो जो डी मैट्रिक्स आती है वो क्या आती है? वो एक डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स होगी जिसके डायगोनल एलिमेंट्स क्या होते हैं? आइगन वैल्यूज। सो 1 1 3। अब 1 1 3 को देखिए ऑर्डर आपको याद रखना है। अगर ये 1 1 3 है तो 1 के करस्पॉन्डिंग जो आइगन वेक्टर होगा वो फर्स्ट कॉलम होगा, सेकंड 1 के करस्पॉन्डिंग जो आइगन वेक्टर होगा वो सेकंड कॉलम होगा, और जो थर्ड आइगन वैल्यू है 3 उसके करस्पॉन्डिंग जो आइगन वेक्टर होगा वो ये वाला होगा। मतलब अगर आप इसमें ऑर्डर चेंज कर रहे हो, सपोज ये 1 1 0 आप फर्स्ट पोजीशन पर रख रहे हो, फर्स्ट कॉलम पर रख रहे हो, तो इसके फर्स्ट पोजीशन पे जो आइगन वेक्टर है तो इसके करस्पॉन्डिंग जो आइगन वैल्यू है वो फर्स्ट पोजीशन पर होगी। सेकंड पोजीशन पर जो आइगन वेक्टर है वो सेकंड आइगन वैल्यू के करस्पॉन्डिंग होना चाहिए। ऐसे ही थर्ड आइगन वेक्टर किसके करस्पॉन्डिंग है? 3 के करस्पॉन्डिंग, तो थर्ड डायगोनल एलिमेंट क्या होगा? 3। अगर आप इस 3 को यहाँ रखोगे तो इसके करस्पॉन्डिंग आइगन वेक्टर को भी आप फर्स्ट पोजीशन पर रखोगे। बिकॉज ये दोनों सेम है 1 1, तो इस पर कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। आप ये वाला कॉलम यहाँ भी रख सकते हो, ये कॉलम यहाँ पर भी रख सकते हो, उससे कोई डिफरेंस नहीं आएगा। ठीक है? बट ये 3 क्योंकि थर्ड पोजीशन पर रखा है लास्ट में, तो ये वाला कॉलम भी लास्ट में ही आएगा, इसके करस्पॉन्डिंग जो आइगन वेक्टर है। क्लियर? सो दिस इज योर पी, दिस इज योर डी। नेक्स्ट पी इनवर्स, आपने इसका पी इनवर्स निकाला। नेक्स्ट आपको पता है ए की प्रॉपर्टी क्या होती है? व्हेन ए इज सिमिलर टू डी, तो ए किसके इक्वल होना चाहिए? पी डी पी इनवर्स के। सो दिस इज योर पी इनवर्स, सॉरी this is your P. This matrix is P. This is D matrix, or this is P inverse. This matrix into 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is here. So this is your P inverse. आप इन तीनों को मल्टीप्लाई करो, जो भी मल्टीप्लिकेशन आ जाएगा, this is your A matrix. तो ये रिवर्स क्वेश्चन है। अभी तक हमें ये मैट्रिक्स दी होती थी और हमें D फाइंड आउट करना था, बट अब हमें D दिया है, P दिया है, और हमें A बताना है। क्लियर? So this is the concept of diagonalization. Diagonalization of a matrix when one matrix is called diagonalizable. क्लियर? तो अगर A किसी ऑर्डर n की स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स है, तो अगर हम उसके n इंडिपेंडेंट आइगन वेक्टर्स बता सकते हैं, देन ओनली दिस मैट्रिक्स इज डायगोनलाइजेबल। जब सारे आइगन वैल्यूज डिफरेंट होती हैं तो सारे आइगन वेक्टर्स इंडिपेंडेंट होते हैं। जब रिपीटेशन होगा आइगन वैल्यूज में तो हमें चेक करना पड़ेगा। क्लियर? So this was about similarity matrices and diagonalization of a matrix.